We're about to turn this into this. Stay tuned for floor.tv. Now that we've got the first half of the floor done, it's time to start to focus on the second half. As you can see, we've still got quite a ways to go. Now we racked and nailed another rack, as you can see here, which brought us even farther across the floor. Now we're getting to the point to where we're running out of room, so what we're going to need to do is move all of our materials out of the way to create the space that we'll need to finish the floor working towards the stage. As you can see here, we've got most of the material out of the way, and we have broom swept the concrete, so now we can add the vapor barrier. So we've installed the vapor barrier here, as you can see, lapping our joints about 2 feet and sealing them just as we've been doing. Now it's time to finish the subfloor. By making the final cuts up against the wall for both bottom layer and the top layer, as you can see, then we just finish stapling it all together to where you get what we see here. At this point, we just have to make the final cuts on the top layer. Now, we simply just follow the same process and throw out all of our bundles. Now, we've pretty much used up the last of the hardwood that we've got. After a little bit more racking, we're ready to nail.
Busted.
Now there's a ton of different hardwood guns that you can use to complete this process, but we prefer to use the ʄśęć brand, as you can see here. One of the best guns money can buy. Here's the staples that we used in the floor. Nearly 75,000 shots of the ʄśęć 2-inch staples just for the hardwood itself. This is what the clips look like. Now these just fit right into the rear of our gun, and that simply shoots through the tongue into the subfloor, which holds the hardwood to the subfloor itself. Here's an example of the 1.5 to 2-inch gap that we leave around the floor. Now this allows the floor to contract and expand over time. And as you can see, we've had the ledge that was protruding earlier removed so that our base can sit flush against the wall and flat on the floor just as it is meant to. Now it's just the process of racking and nailing the final few feet of the hardwood until we get all the way to the wall. Now while we've got a few minutes, we're going to turn around to the first side of the floor that we finished, and we're going to actually pull some finish on the first 4 feet of the floor. This is the area where the bleachers are going to sit. We want them pre-finished. Now we've got our last rack to the wall, and the floor will be finished as soon as we get it nailed down. Man, we're all excited at this point. As you can see, we just button up the doorways. Pretty simple process. You want to make sure you've got the expansion all the way around the floor. Now here's a picture of the floor, fully completed. Man, that feels good. We finally get to go home. When you're cutting the gap around the outside, you just want to make sure that the base will cover that gap, as you can see here. This base is about 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. Now here's a shot of the completed stage side and a wider angle. It's a lot of floor. Now our old friend, the rainy, cold weather is rolling in again, which is making us a little nervous now that our floor's finished. So we're going to go ahead and tape off this door just to make sure that no water gets in and damages the floor. Here's a cool shot I took the last night that we were on the job. Now this entire process to install this floor from start to finish took 2 weeks, which is kind of hard to tell from the video. But I hope you've enjoyed part 3 of 4. Stay tuned for the 4th part, which will be a quick recap going over everything we've already seen. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Have a good day.